Brian Boyle joining us here on NHL Now. I mean, could you have dreamt it up any better, your debut with the Penguins there, Brian?
No, that was a good, that was a fun night. It was obviously a big challenge going down on a banner night against the team. You know, I was down there. I played a few years down there too, but some time off, getting to be back in the mix, a really loud electric building. It was awesome. Really tons of fun.
All right, how about some love for Sam Lafferty with that pass? I mean, like, you know, I want to give you all the credit for scoring. It was great. I thought that was a great hookup by you because that was a great pass.
Lafferty Daniel with a sauce. It couldn't have landed any more flat. And, you know, as that game went on, that ice got a little more chewed up. And so that was elite. I mean, I saw him have it. I tried to point to an area. He put it just right on a dime. It was Tom Brady-esque, I'd say. Just landed right flat on the stick.
Brian, I'm curious. I mean, you're out of the league. You're trying to find a place to maybe go on a tryout. What about Pittsburgh, knowing that they have Malkin, even though he's hurt? They have Sid, even though he happened to be hurt. Like, why did you choose to go to Pittsburgh? Why did you think that might be a good fit for you?
Well, a couple of reasons. I mean, they contacted us after the Worlds, so I knew there was a real interest. So hopefully I was going to get, you know, a real good look. And we had some conversations from, you know, most of the summer onward, and whatever it was going to be, I was hopeful. And then, you know, the reason I love to play this game, that's why I keep playing, but I want to win. I mean, I've been close, and you know, every year I still end up watching the playoffs and watching a celebration like that. There's a little jealousy. It hurts that you're not a part of that, and just want another chance to be able to have a crack at that thing. That's the dream, right?
Well, you look at this team. I mean, I know Crosby and Malkin didn't play in the game last night, but they're a big part of this team's success. That goes without saying. But you join this team. You know, what conversations have you had with the team and the coaching staff about what your role is on this team and how you can make this Penguins team as successful as possible?
I think it's understood that, you know, I can see the lineup. I can see the firepower and what guys can bring. I think what I do and what I can do best, I think, is a checking role. It's if it's defensive or if it's penalty kill, if it's, you know, face-offs and whatnot, and trying to play with some grind to my game. That's usually how I want to play anyhow. That's how I've had success in the league. I obviously love contributing. I love scoring goals. I don't think, you know, not necessarily the guy you lean on and count on every single night, but you want to contribute in as many areas as possible. And, you know, I think it's pretty well understood kind of where I would fit in, and I know what I have to do to stay in and to stay effective. It's an everyday challenge. It's going to be a lot of work every day, but if you can have 4 lines and be effective with 4 lines, you see that those are the teams that have a lot of success, and I want to be a part of that.
Brian, you mentioned, you know, being close and not having one. And, boy, you have been so close at different levels, college level, the National Hockey League level, Stanley Cup final with the Rangers against the LA Kings on some good teams. It's got to really drive you at this point to want to continue to do the work and continue to play, as you mentioned, because, like, boy, that would really drive me as well. I mean, to be so close. You know, what do you think about those experiences? What is it, you know, how does that impact you now?
Like you said, I mean, that is a huge motivator. It's, I mean, that, and I want my kids to remember watching me. I think those are 2 things that are, and I feel like I can still do it. So it's like, I'm going to keep doing it. But ultimately it's because of, you know, it's not really necessarily about money. It's not necessarily about, you know, just being in the league. It's about being able to win. I mean, again, this is a great life. It's a great league to be in. It's obviously a lot of hard work, but if you get the cup, if you win, I mean, you're always a champion. Right? Your name's going to be on there forever, and it's that's the driving force, I think, behind all of it.
and that's plenty of motivation for every one of us who played the game, Brian, and you've been close. Maybe you get there with Pittsburgh. But I'm curious about this. Given that you're a year removed from the NHL and just kind of out of the lifestyle, beyond the competition and the game, what have you missed the most? Plane rides, the buffets, like what have you missed the most now that you're back in the swing of things?
Yeah, all of it. I mean, just taking your gear off, sitting in the room after a hard practice, guys telling jokes, guys, telling stories about different guys in years prior. I mean, just kind of shooting the breeze, really. I mean, it's nice. I mean, especially after a pandemic where, the social gatherings, even being away from the game, weren't. They were few and far between, if any. Just being in the mix, everybody kind of on the same page and the same wavelength. Everybody has, you know where you stand in the room. You know what everyone else is going through. You can kind of be a part of a team. There's really something to be said about that. I think that's one of the coolest things in this game is that team atmosphere, just being in the room with the guys.
I'll ask you one more, Brian. We don't want to take up too much of your time, but being away from the game for a year, and I know you did go up to the Worlds, and I know we talked to you last year after the Worlds, and you had a great time in that tournament and that experience. But did you learn anything about yourself with that year between NHL gigs, and if so, what was it?
Well, I think I'm a lucky man. I really am very blessed that I have the people that I love the most and that love me have been so supportive, that encouraging to continue to try to do what I love to do. I think, it's not going to be an easy year family-wise for my wife. We're expecting our third in January, and we get, two little ones at home that I miss dearly. They're going to stay there. They're in school. They got their sports. So they'll come and visit a little bit, but, she kind of put me first, knowing that, how bad I want this, and just knowing that, how blessed I am and loved I am by them really is, I always knew it, but it just becomes more evident every day, and I'm really thankful for that.
Well, congratulations that you guys are expecting. That's amazing. Send our best to the wife. We appreciate her. We've had her in studio here as well. Congratulations on a solid start with the Penguins. We love having you on. Join us anytime, all right?
Thank you. Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate it.